We'll get started sitting on our knees, our shins. If there's any discomfort sitting on the shins, you can put a blanket there or come to a cross-legged seat. And I do invite you to put a prop underneath the hips or between the thighs. A block on the low, long setting can be nice between the legs. And you can just sit on the shins without anything if you'd rather. And if you're sitting in the cross-legged seat, you can also sit on a prop just to elevate the hips and lengthen the spine. So no props required. I will offer them though. And settling in, just slowing down, letting yourself arrive. Feeling any sensations in the body that stand out to you, begin to notice. Just doing a little mini body scan. Noticing what stands out, maybe an absence of sensation. And beginning to observe the breath. Just how are you breathing in this moment without changing anything? Are you breathing in and out of the nose? Is it a combination of nose and mouth or just mouth? And however you're breathing today, if it does feel comfortable to breathe in and out of the nose, I invite you to do so for a cooling effect. And you'll feel the air against the back of the throat, little constriction there. And you'll make an oceanic sound for your Ujjayi breath. And you'll feel that sound and restriction of air on the exhale. And if you're breathing through the mouth, I really invite you to slow down the breath because that can take the most energy. Knowing we may have allergies or cold symptoms, really just breathing however feels best to you, but slowing it down. Together, we'll take a deep inhale, fill up, and deep exhale. Once more, biggest inhale you've taken all day, fill up. Sip in a little more air at the top. Then open mouth, audible exhale. Making that ha sound. And slowing it down, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, send the palms up overhead, reach up. When palms touch, I invite you to think of something you want to draw into your life. Exhaling, pull that intention or that thing into your heart center, thumbs to your sternum. And feel the energy through your heart. I invite you to set an intention for today's practice or focus on just something you want to call into your life. Add on any thoughts. And gently wrapping up our thoughts, we'll send the arms up overhead, reach up. And then exhaling, open twist to the right. You can flutter the eyes open or keep them closed. Left palm over the right thigh, right fingertips will tent up behind you. Maybe they are flat on the ground. Option the gaze over the back shoulder and keep the left hip back. That left hip's gonna wanna follow. Feel the twist through the core. Inhale, sweep the hands up, reach up, twisting back to center. Exhale, open twist over the left side. So right palm to the left thigh and left fingertips can come over to the ground or behind the low back. Option to gaze over the left shoulder. And if the prop you're on is really high and you can't touch the ground, you can let the hand just rest. You can always wrap the hand around the low back and rest it there. Maybe it comes all the way to the hip crease. Inhaling, sweep the arms up, twisting back to center. And then exhale, let the hands come down to your lap. We're gonna take an elevated child's pose here. So if you're on your prop, feel free to stay there. You're welcome to remove it. And you can add props also, getting a nice low back release. So props to lay the head on or the belly on can be really nice to keep a long spine and stay a little higher, stacking things as high as you need here. So I have a pillow on a block on top of the pillow. We're sliding the palms forward, crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches long behind you. And feeling this elevation, noticing the difference if you always go straight down to the ground, and if you went straight down to the ground today, just noticing how are you feeling and what could it be like if you were a little bit higher. So starting higher and then working low. If you are used to child's pose and the forehead comes down easily to the ground, you might feel some tension in the shoulders, and you can always slide the palms out a little wider. Notice how that changes the space in the shoulders. Or slide the palms slightly back, reducing flexion in the shoulders. Palms can come behind you by the feet, face up for embryo. And with the knees apart here, with the block underneath you or pillow underneath you, keeping big toes together, you'll feel the hips open up a little bit. And so we're still releasing the low back and the hips here. To further open the hips, you're welcome to slide the knees apart, very, very wide. And if you'd like to keep releasing the low back, you can draw the knees together even closer. An option to remove the prop from underneath you at any time. Feeling the heart melt down to the ground, sits bones reaching behind you, crown of the head reaching forward. At any time in our practice, you're welcome to come into your child's variation. And if this shape on the ground does not feel good to you, you're welcome to take this on your back. And I invite you all to explore that now. So child's pose on your back, you can press yourself up and just see if this is something that you'd want to put into your practice. So a little fun with variations today. You'll just swing the legs out in front of you, come right down to the back. I really want you all to feel this just for the fun of exploring shapes in new ways. And you come down to the back, bring your knees to your chest, and you can wrap forearms around your calves, let the shoulders come down, and you'll feel the hips up in the air. Elbows can be in opposite palms if that feels comfortable. Shoulders down to the ground. So you might not reach elbows the first few times. The shoulders may need to open up. So sliding the hands down towards the wrists is fine, or even just holding the calves in the hands. One day the low back will be flush to the ground, full spine on the ground here. And you can draw the chin into the chest. So just feeling compression here. And if there's any knee pain, this is a fabulous alternative to taking child's pose on the belly or on the knees. A few breaths here. Getting lots of length in the spine, feeling the hips drop, low back release. And gently release the left leg, send the left leg long, keep the right knee into your chest. Flex your left toes towards your face, calf is on the ground. And if you feel that you want to take this compression lighter, you can soften the grip from the shin into your chest. Gently guide the right knee outside of the right ribs, shoulders down to the ground, elbows close into the body, right knee comes up towards the shoulder. And then gently guide that knee back to center. Lower that right foot down. We're gonna send the hips to the right. You can either just send this right leg straight up and over with a bend in the knee, or you can bump the hips just a little bit to the right to give you more space. Let that right knee come up and over for a grounded supine twist. And maybe a pillow under the leg that comes up and over, or a block can be nice just to keep it elevated. Or you can let that leg come all the way down to the ground. Arms can relax by your sides. Maybe you cactus the arms, finding a bend in each elbow, hands framing your face. And let this twist come from the core. Option to gaze over the right shoulder and release the neck here. You might feel some gurgling in the stomach. The digestive system tends to get activated in twists. And we'll gently send that right leg up and over, plant the right foot, bump your hips back to center if you bumped them. Send that right leg long, draw the left knee into your chest. And just give it a squeeze and eventually guide that left knee outside the left ribs and pull simultaneously up towards the left shoulder. Shoulders are still grounded. Flex your right toes towards your face. Feel the calf on the ground. Feel the length in the psoas. And then gently we'll guide that left knee back to center, plant the left foot on the ground, and we'll send that left leg either right over into the twist, or you bump your hips to the left, creating a little more space, then left leg comes up and over. So finding your preference in the twist, just the entry can be so personal. And maybe here you put a pillow underneath that left thigh or calf, maybe a block. I tend to go for pillows. Whatever you have at home, it could be a box, it could be a pile of clothing, towels, and relaxing the hands, gazing over the left shoulder if you took the neck release on the other side, just evening yourself out. And gently, slowly, we'll unravel, send that left leg up and over, bump the hips back to center. Take a big morning stretch, point your toes, arms reach behind you. And then exhaling, draw the hands by your sides. So we're going to take an early bridge today. So pressing the hips up in the air before moving there, guide the heels to your glutes. And if you want to take supported bridge, you're welcome to. Sliding a block under the sacrum. It will press the low back into the ground. If you need more space to do so, just send the feet a little forward or a little back until you can feel the low back seal to the ground. You might tilt the pelvis a few times. And when you're ready with low back seal to the ground, inhaling, press the hips up. Knees are tracking forward, toes are tracking forward. Squeeze the inner thighs, press the hips up. And gently we'll lower on the exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees into the chest, finding that child's pose on your back. And 3 breaths here. And gently release the legs. We're going to roll over onto the belly. It'll be a down dog facing the back of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes, press the hips up and back for down dog. Pedal out your dog, bending into one knee and the other. You can step the legs back nice and long. And inhale, send the heels up high. Exhale, drop the heels to the right, keeping the shoulders level. Micro bend in the elbows if you need. Inhaling, send the heels to center. Exhaling, drop the heels to the left. Shoulders stay level here. Inhale, send the heels to center. Exhale, let the heels drop towards the ground. They might not touch the ground right away. That's okay. Bend in the knees as much as you like here. Maybe explore that if you tend not to bend your knees. Really great for low back here. Let the gaze go towards your navel. Inhale, straighten the legs. And stay through the exhale. Inhale, look forward, tippy toe to the top of your mat. Or I guess the back, since we're going to the back of the mat. So taking as many tiny steps until you get the feet behind the wrists. So you have 2 fists distance between your feet or a little wider. Deep, deep bend in the knees for ragdoll. Find opposite elbows in the palms, relax your neck. And if you find it's hard to relax the neck, perhaps you take hands, interlace them behind the neck, behind the base of the skull, and find a yes motion. And just let the head hang heavy. Release the hands. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, rise with a flat back for halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And if coming all the way down to the ground makes you feel dizzy with the rising and falling, you can do this with a chair or a couch. So you can use the edge of a surface for your flat back to hold. And then also with the thighs, you might stay a little higher. And then when you fold, you can keep your head above your heart, just really bending in the knees if there's any dizziness. So rising back up, we're going to rise to standing all the way up nice and slow. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze the inner thighs. Spread the fingers wide. Toes can still be hip width apart, or you can scoot them in, big toes touching sliver between the heels if you like. Roll the shoulders back. And feel how strong you are standing here. Close the eyes. Begin to notice if you're swaying left, right. Let yourself sway here. And then coming to center, stillness. Inhaling, open the eyes, press palms up overhead, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms, draw the elbows down, lift the heart, maybe gaze up. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, nice and slow, hinge at the hips. Maybe you stop at the halfway if you're dizzy at all. Otherwise, lowering all the way down to a forward fold. And here, deep bend in the knees as much as you need. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs. And exhaling, fold. Just creating a little heat in the body. Plant the left hand under your face. Inhale, right hand goes high, straighten the right leg. Option to bring that right palm to the low back, roll the shoulder back, waking up the IT band. Little places that sneak up on us that we don't even know how tight we are. And a block under the hands here can be nice as well. Inhaling, reach the right hand high. Exhaling, lower that right palm, switching sides, right palm under the face, bend into the right knee, straighten the left leg as much as feels okay. You might still have a bend in the knee. Inhale, left hand high. And staying through the exhale. Maybe the left palm comes to the low back, roll the shoulder back. And so slow burn here. Inhaling, reach that left hand high. Exhaling, lowering that left hand and slide the palms underneath the heels here. So here you'll have pinky toes. We'll scoot the toes, big toes together. Pinky fingers will be touching. It's like a little cup around your heels, thumbs on the outside or just a little under the heel. Deep bend in the knees and snuggle the elbows behind the calves as much as you can. It could be outside the calves as well. Inhaling, begin to straighten the legs and lower the head down towards the feet. So top of the head towards your feet. Forehead might come to the shins or knees. And using the strength of your arms, begin to pull yourself down. Roll the weight into the toes, balls of the feet. Straightening the legs even more. Inhaling for length. And exhale, maybe you fold a little deeper. Gently release the hands to come out one hand at a time. And we're going to step the right knee back and then the left knee back. So coming into a tabletop. We'll inhale, drop the belly, gaze up for cow. And a blanket under the knees or rolling up your mat a few times can be really nice on the joints. If there's a lot of pain on the knees just in this posture, you're welcome to come out of it into a seat and take a seated cat-cow. So inhaling to drop the belly, gaze up for cow. Exhaling around the spine, draw chin to chest for cat. Keep moving like that. If you like to take this on a seat without pressure on the knees, just coming to a comfortable seat. We'll take palms to the elbows. Inhaling, send the elbows up to sky for cow. And exhaling, cat, round the elbows in towards the belly. Inhale, cow. Look up, let the belly expand. Exhaling, cat, round the spine, gaze to your navel. Two more. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Release the hands if you're doing the seated variation. If you're in tabletop, we're gently gonna, we'll all make our way into a tabletop. So here, we'll tuck the toes and lift the knees. So knees come off the ground about 2 inches. Hovering, draw the navel into the chest and then walk the toes 2 inches forward towards your palms. A little bit of strength here. And then send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. We're in a shorter dog now, so you might find a deep, deep bend in the knees comes easier. Belly on the thighs. Releasing that low back even more. And then stepping the feet back behind you nice and long. 3 breaths here. Bend in the elbows just a little bit. Deep, deep bend in the knees, as much as you need. Inhaling, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. Step, hop, float, take tiny steps, and forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, rise with a flat back. And exhale, fold. Root to rise, press through all sides of the feet, rise to stand in Tadasana. Hands at your side, spread the fingers wide. Interlace knuckles behind you, behind the low back, and drive the shoulders down, lift the heart. And then exhale, fold with bound hands. And you can stay halfway, feeling this nice shoulder release here with the hands behind you, or begin to fold even deeper all the way down. Hands come overhead, bending in the knees as much as you like. And then release the hands, hands come down. Step the right foot back, lower the right knee. And inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Open twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Drive that right hip back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, open twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And then exhale, plant the palms around the front foot. Slide the left heel forward, flex toes towards your face. Give it a little wiggle side to side, waking up the hip here. Inhale, reach the crown of the head towards your foot. And exhale, fold. You can keep a deep bend in the knee. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, fold. Slide that left heel back between the hands. And we're gonna walk the hands to the right corner, top of your mat. Swivel the back foot to the left corner, back of your mat. And let the head relax, gaze to the navel or close the eyes. Feel this hamstring begin to open up. Option to crawl down the side of your mat with the hands. Think down dog in the upper body. Keeping this left hip anchored, you'll get a nice side stretch in here. Walking the hands down the mat and letting the head follow. Inhaling, walk the hands back to center. Bring the hands inside the front foot. This back knee can be grounded or lifted for lizard. And lifting the back knee, the toes are tucked. You can come down to forearms or stay up on the palms. Lots of heat in the thigh and hamstring. Even the whole quad really gets fired up here. So there's lots of options here, staying grounded. Maybe you put a block under the front foot. And if you went down to forearms, notice here how the belly still has lots of space to breathe. You can find a little gentle sway forward and back. And pressing the palms into the ground, you can round the back even more, letting the belly expand, continue. You can find that cat-cow here. So it's like a lizard cat-cow. It's a little harder to do the cat-cow with the forearms down. So if you're really craving movement, palms down might be the way to go. And coming out of it, we'll step that left knee back. Extending the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Make your way there. Pedaling it out, bending into one knee and then the other. Inhale, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. And exhale, fold. Inhaling, rise to standing, reach up, palms press up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, or a chair or a couch. And exhale, fold. Staying low to the ground, we'll step the left knee back, lower the left knee to the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, reach up. Open twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Draw the left hip back, look over the back shoulder. Little bit of balancing here. Inhale, sweep arms forward and up. Exhale, open twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, sweep arms forward and up. Exhale, fold over the front leg. Hands come down, maybe to blocks. Slide the right heel forward, flex toes towards your face. Maybe wiggle the calf side to side. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward, 2 hips in one line. Inhale, crown of the head reaches towards your foot. And exhale, fold. You can deep bend in the front knee. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Gently bend into that front knee or glide the heel back between the thumbs. We'll walk the hands inside this front foot towards the left corner top of your space. Swivel the back leg to the right corner of your mat. So coming into our funky dog, you'll have hands wide like a down dog. Let the head relax. Feeling this release in the hamstring, glutes, and quad. Maybe you walk the hands down the side of the mat, feeling that side body stretch. Anchor the right hip back or draw it back. It's a nice hip opener here. And gently we'll crawl the hands inside the front foot. Coming into your lizard variation, knee can be down or you tuck toes to lift the knee. Palms down or maybe forearms down. You can also use blocks here under the hands, under the foot. Maybe you find a little playful sway forward and back, or that cat-cow. So it's like a lizard cat-cow. Drop the belly, gaze up. Really making it your own here. Evening it out side to side. And gently we'll step that right knee back to meet the left. With tucked toes here, press the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Deep bend in the knees, sink the belly to the thighs, micro bend the elbows. And stay in this deep bend variation for one more breath. Inhaling, press hips up and back. Exhale, let the heels melt to the ground. Inhale, take a big step with the right knee between the thumbs so you can glide the knee to your chest and then step the foot between the thumbs and dial the back foot down for warrior 2. So this back foot will point to your left, rising with a deep bend in the front knee and arms open to a T. Spread your fingers wide, gaze over the middle finger, roll the shoulders slightly back, open hips here. And then notice if there's any tension in the knee or if it feels hard to stand, you can swivel the heel a little further back. Left toes might point towards left corner of the mat, top of the mat. So it's just a little motion of adjusting the foot and you can sink a little deeper. Inhaling, reverse your warrior, flip your palm, reach up and back, pull up out of the waist. And exhale, warrior 2. Arms are at a T. Inhale, reverse your warrior, tip it up and back. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach arms up overhead, palms touch, pivot all 10 toes to face the left side of your mat or in front of you. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Interlace fingers behind you, draw the shoulders back, toes are straight forward or slightly in. And then exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Fold forward with a flat back. This is also fabulous with a chair. And release the hands. Hands come down to the ground or into a higher surface, maybe to a block. You can relax your neck here, just like you did in down dog. Hands can walk in front of you. Roll the weight into the toes. And again, toes are straight forward or pigeon-toed. So pigeon-toed meaning they're pointing in towards each other. And noticing here, sensation in the low back, full release of the hamstrings, glutes, lower body, even the core. Walk the hands behind you now, and the head might come closer down to the ground. Really trust that you're not gonna fall here. Nice strong legs, rolling the weight forward. Hands can come back under the face. Inhale, halfway lift, press yourself up, flat back. And exhale, fold. Pivot all 10 toes to face the top of the mat. So we were at the back of the mat, we're facing the top of the mat now. And here, coming into a low lunge, deep bend in the left knee. Right knee is above the ground. Press the right palm into the ground. Inhale, left hand goes high. Draw your heart towards your thigh. And gently lower the left hand down. Step the left foot back and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog. Inhaling, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, press through all sides of the feet, slowly roll up, hands come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reach up. And bring palms together. Exhaling, we'll fold with palms together. Pinky fingers, edges of the fingers will come down to the ground or to a block or chair first. And then deep bend in the knees for your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Staying low to the ground. We're going to step the right foot back, coming into warrior two, left knee bent. So right toes face the right corner of the mat, and then rise up to warrior two. So deep bend in that front knee, gaze over the middle finger. Inhale, reverse your warrior, tip it up and back. Pull up out of the waist. And exhale, warrior two. Sink a little deeper, roll shoulders back. Inhale, reverse your warrior, tip it up and back. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip both palms, palms touch overhead, flying warrior, straighten that front leg. And then pivot all 10 toes to face the side of your mat. Exhale, interlace fingers behind you, wide-legged forward fold. We'll drive the heart forward, lowering with a flat back. Inhale, rise. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, plant the palms that frame the front foot, pivot all 10 toes to face the front of the mat. And step the left foot back to meet the right. Bend into one knee and then the other. Pedaling out your dog. Inhale, send the right knee forward between the thumbs. And we're going to inhale, send the right hand high, draw your heart towards your thigh. Reaching in opposition, left palm down, right hand high. Then exhale, lower the right palm. Step the right knee back. Press hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. into a little plank, and then exhale, roll back to your downward facing dog. Inhaling, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. And exhale, fold. Draw big toes to touch. Sink the hips down. Keep a sliver between the heels. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Sink your hips into a chair. Notice here, how does it feel in the legs? You can stay very high here, or you can lower a little lower and lower a little lower with the hips sinking down. And then notice, would you like to step your feet apart and then press thighs away from you? Draw hands to heart center and play with the feet. Big toes together, heels apart, or feet 2 fists apart and press thighs away from each other. So which variation is yours? Inhale, straighten the legs. That was a lot of strength. And then exhale, sink into your variation of chair. So hands can come forward or be at heart center. Thighs apart, or thighs squeezing together with toes together. Inhale, straighten the legs. And then exhale, sink into your chair. Yes, so strong. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, hands to your hips. We're gonna lift the right foot. So shift your weight into the left foot and a little bend into the right knee. You might just keep the toe on the ground. You can put your foot on top of a block if you feel okay, lifting that right knee, hips are in line, flex your toes. You can play with pointing and flexing. And you can put your foot on a block just to keep the balance. This is also handy with a chair in front of you just to hold. Hands at hips can be nice and grounding. Lift your foot a little higher if it was on the block. And if it's already floating in the air, press with your right palm, guide the right knee out to the side. Maybe you release the left hand from the hip, reach forward. And then gently guide your right knee back to center like you're shutting a gate. Lower that right foot down, hands to your hips. Shift your weight into the right foot. Come onto just the toe of the left foot and notice here, how does it feel in the right leg? Straighten the leg. And then it's almost like you're locking your knee. You can keep a little micro bend, locking the knee, contract the thigh. You might feel like you won't go anywhere. And then inhale, lift that left foot off the ground. Maybe the foot is on top of a block. Maybe you lift it a little higher. Maybe you release your hands from your hips, or at least lift the right hand, keep left hand on your hip. And then gently, you'll press the left knee away from you. You can switch hands on the hips if you need. Woo, begin to fall. And then press the left knee away from you. Keeping hips forward. The left hip will be opening. Gently guide that left knee to center. And then lower that left foot down. We're gonna take a figure 4 standing. If there's any discomfort in the knees, know that you can take tree pose instead. We'll also do tree. So figure 4, you'll take the right foot up, shift your weight into the left foot, and you're gonna hook your ankle just above the left knee, sink your hips back just like in chair. Reach your hands forward or hands to heart center. Flex your toes towards your knee. And sink a little deeper. Hands can come down the blocks or down to the ground. If hands come down to the ground easily, you can hook your right foot around the left shoulder. Relax your neck. Maybe hands come around the calf, 1 or 2. Ooh, little balance. Big hip opener. And then gently unravel, coming out the way you came in. And lower that right foot down. We'll gently shift the weight into the right foot. You can keep balancing with just the foot lifted, or explore that figure 4, left ankle to left or to right knee, just above the right knee. So it's on the thigh. And then sink your hips down. Maybe hands are forward or at heart center, flex toes towards your knee. Hands might come all the way down to the ground. If so, and it's comfortable, maybe you play with balance with one hand on the calf or the other, hooking the right foot around the shoulder. It's a lot of squeezing. Feeling the hip release, even the low back release here. And gently unravel, coming out the way you came in. Lots of patience. And then lowering that left foot down. We'll gently rock the feet So you're gonna roll onto the balls of the feet, arms behind you for divers, just a little tip forward, little balance, coming high up on the toes, inhaling, and then lower the heels down, sink into your chair, hands up. Inhale, straighten the legs, exhale, arms behind you, tip the weight forward, lift your heels for diver. Woo, and then inhale, reach up, lower the heels. We're gonna come into tree pose. So shake out your ankles, shake out your knees, little lasso circles here, a lot of fun. Great for the joints. You can bring the wrists in there too. Shake it, shake it, shake it. I mean, when else do you guys get to just shake it and look silly, right? Have fun here. It's actually really good for the joints as well, lubricating the joints. And tree pose, we're gonna shift the weight into the left foot. You can do this kneeling if you like. If you like that, that might be more of a challenge. Surprisingly low to the ground can be more of a challenge sometimes. So standing, you'll have left foot down and bring just the right toe to the ground, and then begin to explore. Hands at the hips, left foot rooted. Lift that right foot to the calf. Maybe you stay here. Hips are open here, 2 hips in one line, knees away from you. And then notice here, if you want to slide the foot higher up the leg. So option, you can always put your foot on a block. And same as just lifting that leg. And then if you put your foot over your knee, it's not encouraged because you ideally are opening up the hip, right? So here, there's potential to be kicking the foot into the knee, which can cause injury. So if you can rest here still without pushing the foot into the knee, that's safe because we have this arch that just lines perfectly with this curve. Ideally above or below the knee. If you place your foot over the knee, just don't kick into it. Otherwise, you're squeezing your thigh into your foot pressing into the leg or the calf, whichever part of the leg. And then we'll gently lower that right foot down, give yourself a break on the ankle, shake out that ankle. We'll do a few rounds of these progressively. And then switching sides. So consider this first round exploratory, just checking in with the body. So toe comes down and then maybe you lift and just keeping hips forward and in line. Then lift that foot up the leg, pressing the foot into the calf. You feel like you can go higher. This is going to depend on how open the hips are. Sliding that foot up, and a lot of balance, a lot of strength in the ankle. Sliding that foot higher and higher without your hand up your thigh, and then using the hand and pressing your foot into your thigh into your foot, or whatever part of the leg is making contact. If you're not falling out, you're not having fun. And feel free to grow some branches, release the hands, explore arm movement. And we'll lower this left foot down gently. So we'll do a second round, a little more with the arms this time. Shift your weight into the left foot, come into your tree, knowing what you feel most comfortable with. And maybe you bring the foot all the way up to the hip crease in the hands. Let the right knee come in line with the left knee. And relax here. This will help to open the hip, press the hip forward. Should be no pain in the knee. Really letting this come from the hips. And then if you feel you can balance here, release, we'll bring right hand to the center of your chest and then release the left hand. So both hands at the chest. If the foot begins to slide, bring the hand back to your foot. Now you can explore playing with your branches, let your arms come out wide, find your movement, maybe hands touch overhead and you lower palms behind the base of the neck, fingers down, draw the elbows out wide, heart forward. Yes, and then we'll release, come out the way you came in, use your hand as much as you need. Swing out that ankle and switching sides. So shifting the weight into the right foot, come into your tree variation, just exploring or bringing, you want to go deeper, bring your hand to your foot to your hip crease, let the knee come down, opening up the hip. Your left hand to the center of your chest. If you feel the foot's beginning to slide, keep holding that foot in your hand or just checking it out. See if it does slide, release the right hand, bring hands to heart center together. If the foot is sliding, bring your hand back to hold your foot. We're just opening the hip. Takes time and practice. It's okay to wobble. And then gently feel out your branches, maybe play with the arms out wide, hands behind the low back, palms together. Really, any variation in the arms that you want to explore here. Then you begin to notice you're not even paying attention to your legs anymore. And we'll come out the way we came in. Lower that left foot down. Swing out the right ankle, a few ankle circles here. And we'll take a nice forward fold. So gently lower down, slide the hands down to your mat, bend into one knee and the other. So releasing the hips and low back a little bit, just keep bending in the knees, bending in the knees. And gently come to a deep forward fold. Plant the palms, step the right knee back and down, left knee back and down. Sink the hips over the heels. Then we're gonna take a wide leg child's pose. So sending the knees apart, big toes touching. And if you wanna take this on your back, you are welcome to take it on the back. Spread the fingers wide, forehead down. Three big breaths here. Deep inhale, fill up. And deep exhale. And slowing it down, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more big breath. And exhaling. Walk your fingertips towards the knees, shut them like a book. Swing the legs out in front of you, and we'll lower down to the back. Once you're on your back, let the soles of the feet come together, knees out wide for butterfly on your back. And let the hips release. You can take this at a wall if you'd rather. And if you take this at a wall, the low back is sealed to the ground. Legs are up in the air against the wall. And feeling the breath slow down, the heart rate slow down. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And feel the heart rate under one palm, rise and fall of the chest. And the belly expanding and drawing in under the other palm. And gently release the hands, draw the knees together, shut them like a book. We'll take the figure 4 on our back. So same thing we did standing, but now on your back, you can hook the right ankle just above the left knee, press right knee away from you. And hang out here or lift the left foot off the ground, interlace fingers behind the right or left thigh, press right elbow into right knee. Maybe you straighten the leg on the left side, flex toes towards your face, or keep that left knee bent, up to you. Pulling the left thigh into the chest, pressing the right knee away from you. And we'll gently lower down, lower the left leg down, release the right ankle, switching sides, left ankle crosses over left thigh, or right thigh, left ankle over right thigh. Let the left knee press away from you. Maybe you stay here or you send the right knee towards your chest, interlace fingers behind the right thigh, press the left knee away with left elbow. Option to straighten the right leg, flex toes towards your face. And just feeling the difference here in your body when you take this shape from standing to being on your back or at a wall if you chose the wall. And bending into one knee, that right knee, if you have had it straight the whole time. We'll gently lower that right foot down. Release the left ankle. Let the knees fall out left and right, windshield wipering the legs, left and right. And let the knees come back up, shut them like a book, step the feet hip width apart, 2 fists apart. Draw the heels closer to your hips, and we're going to take 2 rounds of bridge, similar to what we did in the beginning. Hands by your sides, no toes track forward, knees track forward. Inhale, press the hips up. And maybe you snuggle the fingers underneath you, interlace fingers, and then walk one shoulder under and then the other. Really press the hips up here. No weight in the neck. And staying nice and strong here. You can slide a block under the sacrum for a supported bridge. So the fleshy part, top of the butt, no pain in the bones. And as you're ready, you'll lower down on the exhale. Release the grip. If you took the hands together underneath you, slide the hands out from under you and lower down on your exhale when you're ready, staying lifted as long as you want. When you lower down, tilt your pelvis forward and back a few times. And when you feel the low back seal to the ground, preparing for your next lift, inhale, press the hips up. Maybe washing the hands forward and back for some shoulder therapy here, palms up like you're painting a fence. And lowering in your own time, one vertebrae at a time. Let the legs fall out wide once more, windshield wipers side to side, left and right, left and right. And let the legs come long, arms at your side. Maybe you snuggle a blanket or block under the knees. Coming into your Shavasana. You're welcome to take any other shape for your final resting posture. I'm offering a traditional Shavasana today to maximize length in the body. Heels can be together or apart, toes splaying out wide. And just let the breath settle and the mind grow quiet. My voice will gently guide you out. Please enjoy your active rest, Shavasana. Wherever you are, take a deep breath, fill up. Deep clearing breath, audible exhale. If you're ready to move on with your day, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and rock your head side to side. Gently rolling over to one side if you're moving on, using your arm as a pillow. And you're welcome to stay and rest in your final resting shape or here on your side, just listening to what your body needs in the moment and observing this energetic shift, observing sensation in the body, the mind, and the breath. We come into this shape on our side as a symbol of rebirth from our practice into our day. If you're moving on, press yourself up with softer closed eyes, using your hands and without hurry, making your way to a comfortable seat. And relaxing the hands down the thighs or over the knees, finding that tall spine, proud heart. Inhaling, let the palms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, draw hands to heart center, thumbs to the sternum. I invite you to revisit any intention you may have set for today's practice, or revisit that idea or feeling of something you wanted to call in. And take a moment. Wrapping up our thoughts. Thank you for joining me and sharing your practice. It is an honor to serve you. Together we bow. Namaste.